Yeah, there's no like, every scene where Sonic would take his little red shoes off and like stretch his toes out. They immediately like had to cut because Idris
They
Elba
had to
was like,
cut that. Well,
I don't know how to act right now.
they had to cut it because it's gross.
Idris Elba wants to suck on Sonic's blue toes
No, just him Sonic taking his shoes off and wiggling his toes. Like I don't. Nobody's
because Idris
like.
Elba is gonna be all over it. That's why they had to cut it.
That's not. That's not part of the Sonic ethos. They're not like. You know what the best part about Sonic is? His feet. Like no, nobody wants to. No, what?
Christ. All right, hi everybody. Welcome to Smark Avengers. My name is Corey, and with me is Dylan and John. How's it going, guys?
I.
Yeah,
That's what John's allergic to.
That's what he's allergic to.
there we go.
Sonic the Hedgehog's feet.
Just feet in general.
Yeah, I understand that. That's fair enough.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are still doing our Marvel and DC tournament. Last episode, we got through the DC hero side with John Constantine being named the victor. So we have 3 of our final 4 competitors selected. It's time to choose our 4th, and we're going to the DC villain side. So, same rules as applied. We're going to go through each round and basically talk up the characters who we think would win in a fight. If it's not unanimous, we take it to the wheel, and that's how we figure out if there's going to be an upset or not. So, that being said, this is what he does. This is what he does. This is Dusty.
I'm gonna have to
Dusty.
draw the cat. I'll put the cat on the thumbnails too.
Oh, the
now.
cat's gonna be in the thumbnail. You hear that? You're gonna be on the thumbnail. That being said, are you guys ready to go over and do our bracket?
Yes.
Are you ready to go? You ready to go?
It's Dusty, right?
I think he is. All right, guys, we have our DC villains bracket here. As you can see, our final 4 is almost complete. Representing Marvel heroes, Scarlet Witch, Marvel villains, Apocalypse, DC heroes, Constantine, and today we'll find out who's going to represent the DC villains and face Constantine to determine who will face the winner of Scarlet Witch versus Apocalypse to ultimately decide who's winning our bracket. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Up first in our very first round, we have got Mr. Freeze versus the Joker. So, Dylan's feelings on the Joker are very well known, but we'll go ahead and just kind of go through it. Mr. Freeze is a genius level scientist who has permanently altered his chemistry in an accident that has left him basically confined to extreme cold temperatures to survive. He has also gone to extreme lengths to try to save his wife, who he has kept in a sort of frozen and suspended way until he can find a cure for a disease for her. Against him is the Joker, the embodiment of chaos, a unhinged sociopath, psychopath, mass murdering serial killer clown. One has a freeze ray, the other has Joker gas or Joker fish, whichever way you want to go about it. That being said, I know Dylan's gonna have some feelings about the Joker up front. What are your thoughts in general on Mr. Freeze versus the Joker?
Mr. Freeze is he's got he's very cold.
Mm-hmm. He's very chilly.
I guess it's game over then.
Thank you. So Mr. Freeze just wins the whole thing. So you don't have to do the rest of the bracket.
Nah, we're good. We don't have to worry
Mr.
about
Freeze against Constantine. And Constantine wins because he has pyrokinesis. So bad luck, Mr. Freeze, but you did your best.
it. You tried.
Yeah, he tried.
There's no shame in trying.
The best. Yep.
All
I
right.
mean, Joker has the whole chaotic evil element going on. I think that's going to be his sort of trump card that he can play. Because you can't predict what he's going to do next. He can't even predict what he's going to do next. But it's probably going to fuck someone up. And in this case, I think it's going to fuck up Mr. Freeze.
But if you freeze somebody, then they can't do anything.
You know, much like how Batman has plot armor, Joker also has plot armor. That's why he's his arch nemesis. Joker literally survives damn near everything that should kill him. That being said, though, John, you brought up an excellent point. You have chaotic evil versus what some would say is lawful evil. Mr. Freeze is a character with some morals. You know, he will do what he needs to do to get what he needs done. but there's also seemingly lines that he doesn't cross. Joker doesn't really believe in lines. He just does what he does, and sometimes it makes sense, and sometimes it doesn't. I will say that when we were first putting these together and like looking at like the list we have in front of us, a lot of big fucking heavy hitters on here. This is like the perfect first round for Joker because I don't think he's gonna get much further just off of fucking firepower alone. I'm gonna incline to believe that Joker's could pull this off. I think he's clever enough, I think he's crafty enough, and I think he's also chaotic enough that he could get past Mr. Freeze.
Can't argue with that.
Dylan, you are. I know your stance on Joker. Does that mean you're with Mr. Freeze?
Yeah, sure, why not? I was gonna pick Joker just because, like you said, it makes sense that Joker wouldn't get too far in the bracket, but because of that kind of talk, it means that Joker will end up getting all the way through the fucking bracket and winning. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna roll the dice once again. Start off hot. If you heard our last episode,
Yeah.
you'll know that I started the show off hot, and I rode that all the way to the end. So I'm gonna roll the dice once again and see what happens.
Okay.
I don't think it would be too successful. I think I blew all my luck on Power Girl, which was my mistake. But let's just go, Mr. Freeze.
All right. Well, let's see. All right, we're gonna spin our wheel here. If it lands on Dylan, Mr. Freeze advances, and the wheel loved Dylan last episode.
Yeah, I think I blew it.
No, I think you didn't. Nope, you sure didn't.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Mr. Freeze is gonna move past the Joker in the first round.
Oh,
Joker has been
I
eliminated.
should lottery, son of a bitch.
All right, our next matchup, we have Sinestro against Deathstroke. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with these guys. I can kind of give you a rundown if you would prefer. But sort of the Cliff Notes version. Sinestro was once the greatest Green Lantern until he had his fall from grace and realized that the universe could be ruled through fear much stronger than led through willpower. Deathstroke, the Terminator, is one of the world's greatest assassins. Pretty much if there's a hit on you and Deathstroke's taking that contract, you're not going to do super hot. Deathstroke, forever a pain in the ass of most of the Teen Titans, and depending on who's writing him, has a significant amount of plot armor. So we have a guy who is an expert hand-to-hand combatant. He has a level of a healing factor to him, a lot of very high-tech gadgetry at his disposal, against a man who has a cosmic ring, much like the Green Lanterns, but his is yellow and is powered by his ability to instill great fear, basically by being a dictator. Thoughts on Sinestro versus Deathstroke?
This feels like one of those like Deadpool versus other powered character that we've had this conversation before. Like one might be really good at like shooting and fighting and stuff like that. But the other one, if they can find a way around the easily avoidable shooting and punching, probably has the upper hand, right? You know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean, I don't think Deathstroke is the kind of guy who's gonna scare easily.
Mm.
And if Sinestro is like, his whole deal is
Fear.
ruling through fear, yeah, like I don't think that's gonna be that big of a weapon in his arsenal.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. That's very good.
So power rings have a charge to them. You have to recharge your power ring every so often.
How do you charge them?
Oh, there's actually
You have to buy a charger
I
every
mean,
day?
it is like a fucking lantern. Like legitimately, you basically are able to summon a lantern. You put your ring to it, and it charges it up. It's like having
How long does it take?
not terribly long. It does take some time, but the thing is like Sinestro is able to make constructs, much like a Green Lantern can, except his are going to be yellow, and they're using his ability to instill fear. Deathstroke is a man who isn't susceptible to fear conventionally. He's a guy with a lot of trauma. He's a dude who's fucked his personal life up something fucking fierce. Alienated, estranged his wife, was responsible for one of his kids dying, his other two children hating his guts. not a great guy. I think the thing about it is both of these guys are very arrogant and very egotistical. Deathstroke knows that he's fucking good. Sinestro also doesn't have a high opinion of humans. So I think the thing about it is it's guns and swords and conventional human weaponry against a cosmic power. You know, it's not necessarily like Martian Manhunter versus Green Lantern was. It's going to be more conventional weaponry against something from fucking space. And I feel like Sinestro wins this one.
That's what I was thinking. John did a very good job of like kind of winning me over with the whole fear thing. Like I get that. But like just off the bat, I thought if you're thinking about like the more conventional weaponry and way to fight people versus like some weird space shit, you know, space shit's got a good shot, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, my thinking is, I mean, who did we have when talking about Storm against someone and like someone with a gun shooting her from
Well, that was Deathstroke,
really
actually.
far away? Was it? Oh, there you go. And that, you know, he could kill her if he did that, like, without getting hit by lightning or whatever. Maybe Deathstroke, if with enough time,
Chance.
preparation, and distance. Yeah, he could shoot Sinestro before he can use any of his powers against him.
Weren't you? No, you. I think. Wait, were you on Team Storm or were you not on Team Storm?
Oh, I can't remember.
So
I don't remember.
So John was on Team Storm, and then I brought that up that from a distance with a sniper rifle, without her, if she didn't know that he was looking for her, then Deathstroke could take out Storm because she's not impervious to bullets
That we know of.
that we know of.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Deathstroke just to throw a bit of a wild card in there.
All right, taking it to the wheel.
Okay.
So if it lands on John, Deathstroke the Terminator will move past Sinestro.
Hey,
It's gonna be one of those episodes, huh?
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those episodes, huh? So yes, John. It landed on John, meaning Deathstroke the Terminator will move to the next round, where he will face off against Mr. Freeze. But first, this one's also going to be a little bit of a weird one. We have Cosmic against Earth. We have Starro the Conqueror, a giant space starfish, against Poison Ivy, who is the ability to control plant life. So again, what's interesting about this one is Poison Ivy has the ability to sway people under her control using like spores and pheromones and what have you. Starro also has the ability to take over people's mind by basically creating his own spores, which are smaller jellyfish versions of himself that attach to their fucking face. So this would like actually be something, would be like two generals leading armies essentially without a fight happening, because if you put Poison Ivy against Starro, she is a average size human woman, and Starro is a giant fucking starfish from space. So on a physical hand-to-hand, person-to-person combat, that one's a little hard to judge because the difference is mass. But if you went for the idea of both of them having armies of, you know, brainwashed servants essentially fighting for them, you're a little more even ground. So again, real quick, what's your knowledge of Poison Ivy and Starro?
I would have more knowledge on Poison Ivy than I would on Starro.
Okay. Starro the Conqueror is a parasitic alien starfish. He is a giant starfish with a single eye, depicted with turquoise and taffy colors. He has mind control abilities, telepathy. He can reproduce by making countless smaller versions of himself. He can grow to massive size and holds power with each host he controls. And he also has superhuman strength, flight, regeneration, and energy projection. He is an ancient alien conqueror that travels the universe, enslaving full planets. In some retellings, he was once a humanoid alien who merged with the Starro entity. Poison Ivy was a botanist who had some stuff happen, depending on which origin you're looking at, and basically decided to say fuck humans. But real quick, Poison Ivy's abilities are, well, just because we're going to be fair and read them both out. She is a doctorate in botany. She can manipulate. She has manipulation of plants and toxins. She can self-sustain herself. She is a skilled seductress and a skilled gymnast and hand-to-hand combatant. Again, not necessarily
Skilled
skills are going
seductress, you say?
Yeah. She went to seductress school.
Gonna fuck that giant starfish.
Hey, it works. If I get to the win, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that the chocolate starfish that Fred Durst was singing about?
Oh,
Oh,
John.
What character?
Why you gotta lower
represents
the
hot dog
tone like
flavored
that?
Water?
Why you gotta bring Limp Bizkit into this?
Someone had to.
People,
I don't think somebody did.
we're at that point where people are unironically liking them again. So
Well, people, as we've established, are idiots. So, move on. I think this is tricky because it's a big fucking starfish. Like,
it's a giant fucking starfish.
how would Poison Ivy be able to use her abilities against a big space starfish? You know what I mean?
She could summon some sort of big, giant, like Venus flytrap style plant to take a bite out of it, maybe.
Couldn't it just take a bite out of the Venus flytrap?
But he would also regenerate himself.
Starro doesn't.
Does he not have a big jaw? Like a big starfish might?
In some adaptations, yes. The opposite end of his body, like are you like kind of familiar with starfish anatomy? They have the underside where the mouth and anus and everything is. That's kind of what his deal is.
Yeah. So he could just chomp with his big mouth. You know?
Okay, well, in that case, I'm gonna go with Starro then.
This one I found really hard, but like I feel like once you read all that shit out, like it's probably the big starfish, right?
Yeah, the giant starfish is going to be pretty difficult to handle.
Yeah.
All right, we have
We're gonna go with that?
Starro the Conqueror, moving past Poison Ivy.
I mean, he's Starro the Conqueror.
Yes.
He's conquered shit. They don't hand that name out lightly, you know?
So we got Starro the Conqueror and Deathstroke the Terminator.
Yeah. And then Mr. Freeze, the Freezy.
Popsicle.
Mr. Freeze
Yeah.
Popsicle. All right.
See?
This one's interesting because like this is one of those that the first round matchup is, I think, surprisingly even matched. Considering against many other characters, it'd be a wash. So we have Parallax versus Darkseid. Now, real quick, Darkseid is the god of evil, the anti-life god from Apocalypse. He has a genius level intellect. He's a master tactician, superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, and reflexes. He's immortal. He's considered invulnerable. He's a skilled hand-to-hand combatant, and he's powered by the Omega effect, which basically grants him Omega beams, which he shoots out of his eyes and can bend around corners. And basically, once they're locked in on you, you're probably going to get hit. He can fly. He has telekinesis, telepathy, can travel between dimensions, and can manipulate matter and energy. He is against Parallax. Parallax is the powerful parasitic cosmic entity that represents the yellow light of fear. So the thing that gives Sinestro his powers comes from Parallax. He is the embodiment of fear, essentially. And Parallax, let me go in real quick. He's able to possess people. So he's large-scale reality alteration, control time, flight, possession, mind control, fear induction, and create solid energy constructs. He's a giant yellow space bug against a giant space god. Like I said, surprisingly evenly matched considering they could go up against any other person in the first round and it'd be a little more hard and a little more difficult. So, that being said, your feelings on Parallax versus Darkseid.
I agree with you in that this is as close as we could have got it. Whenever we were coming up with this bracket, we were talking about what's the power level for some people. Are we going to have a point where like somebody's just going to walk away with it? And then Parallax is a very powerful entity. Darkseid's also a very powerful entity. This is as close as you're going to get it.
Yeah.
I feel like despite that, you're probably still talking about Darkseid. But it's pretty close, I think.
Darkseid is the big bad
Yeah.
of DC. He's DC's Doctor Doom. You know, like there's no greater threat or evil than Darkseid. I mean, currently between the DC launched the Absolute Universe. That all came about because Darkseid found himself in this world that was malleable, and he was like, "All right, cool. If I can manipulate this world, I'm going to make sure that every fucking hero has the worst possible timeline." And that's what he did. He's spiteful. He's cunning. He's incredibly powerful character. I'm inclined to go with Darkseid.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go Darkseid.
I'll say Parallax just to throw in a curveball.
Good
Because I
man.
think if any match was gonna have the potential to, knock Darkseid out, it's probably this one.
Can I change my vote? I agree with John
Okay.
in that if anybody's gonna knock out Darkseid, it's this
It's
guy.
Parallax. Okay. Yeah, so that means that it
Like
have to land on me for Darkseid to move forward. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
because like I'm sure we can figure out a way to get rid of Parallax, but this is our only chance to stop Darkseid.
Dylan, you changing your mind, dude. That played a factor. Landed on you. Because again,
Yeah.
everybody loves you today.
Wow.
So we're going to knock out Darkseid in the first round as Parallax, the embodiment of fear, moves forward. That's
I
gonna be a
think that's
very
fun.
interesting
I also
matchup.
really think it's fun. One reason I think it's fun is because Corey was like, "Well, he's like Marvel's Doctor Doom," and I'm like, "Well, Doctor Doom didn't win our villain bracket."
Fuck him.
Oh,
All right.
Yep.
Next up, we got two Flash villains. We've got the Reverse Flash, and we've got Gorilla Grodd. So, real quick, what's your knowledge of the Reverse Flash?
he's like backwards Flash.
Yeah, he can only run backwards.
Yeah.
All right. So, Eobard Thawne is the Reverse Flash. He has access to the Reverse Speed Force, or the Negative Speed Force. He's also a genius level intellect. So the Negative Speed Force grants him superhuman speed, time and dimensional travel, cellular regeneration and accelerated healing, intangibility, sonic shockwave projection, vortex generation, memory and speed absorption, age alteration, electrokinesis, power absorption, cosmic awareness, molecular acceleration, reality alteration, and retrocognition. Which is always
What?
really, yeah. That's remember how he said that the Flash could like basically speed his brain up and remember stuff that he forgot. A negative Flash, the Reverse Flash has the ability to. I fucking love talking about the Flash with you, Dylan. It's the best. Gorilla Grodd. Gorilla Grodd is a evil, super intelligent gorilla who gained mental powers after being exposed to strange meteorites radiation. So that sort of comes about with a genius level intellect, superhuman strength, stamina, durability, speed, agility, reflexes, and senses, telepathy, telekinesis, and he has a connection to the Speed Force. So, giant, super intelligent gorilla, Reverse Flash. What are your thoughts?
He has a connection to the Speed Force.
Yeah.
Hi.
It has to do, I think it was his long-term exposure to, like, the Flash granted him that ability.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna go for the monkey.
anything against against the Flash?
100%.
I am going towards the Reverse Flash just because, again, he's got all these multitude of powers, just like the regular Flash does, and Grodd is just basically a monkey with, like telepathy. So I don't think.
He has access to the Speed Force, John.
Yeah, but then so does the Reverse Flash.
Right. So Gorilla Grodd has access to the Speed Force, and also he's a monkey. So he's got two things going for him.
Maybe.
Know what I mean?
I'm gonna stick with Reverse Flash though.
Fair enough. Whatever
Okay.
you want.
I will go with Reverse Flash. So, we're going to take it to the wheel. If it lands on Dylan, it's Gorilla Grodd. And Dylan has had a very good night with the wheel. But not for this one. Reverse Flash will be advancing.
Dang it. Well, I had a good run.
All right, up next, we've got a Batman villain against the greatest Superman villain. We have Clayface versus Lex Luthor. Now, you guys are familiar with both, I imagine. If not, let me know, and we can do a little bit of a deep dive on both.
I'm
I
pretty familiar.
believe I married Lex Luthor when we killed someone, so yes, I'm very familiar with him.
I believe that was
Did you give
you
him
killing
syphilis?
Aquaman.
Yes.
Did you give him syphilis? Or did
No, he
he give
gave
you
me.
syphilis?
Yeah, that's how it's done.
Hmm. Rude. No
So,
need for that.
Clayface is a shapeshifter, can regenerate his body, and he has superhuman strength, stamina, and durability. Lex Luthor is a genius level intellect, inventor, and has basically all of the resources that Batman has. So,
I'm gonna go with Lex Luthor.
yes. I'm inclined to go with Lex Luthor
I
as
feel like
well. Genius level intellect, proficient
yeah.
engineer and scientist, criminal mastermind, and the war suits that he has, which are his power armor, superhuman strength and durability, energy projection, flight, and advanced weaponry that often incorporates kryptonite.
Just in
And
terms of like resources and shit, Lex Luthor has got he'll just find a way to easily beat Clayface, I think.
if Clayface is his powers like sort of similar to Sandman, where he can basically turn into his body into different sort of weapons
Yes.
and or even make it sort of liquidy and
Yes.
so I think Clayface could be an underdog here, where he just smothers Lex Luthor in his, liquid clay,
His goo.
uh, his goo, and
Yeah.
then just like chokes him out. Like, you know, boom, done.
I think it wouldn't be as easy as that though, would it? Like I don't feel like Lex Luthor would just let that happen.
Luthor is a contingency
What's
kind
he
of
gonna
guy.
do?
I mean, he's got the war suits. I mean, he's a contingency kind of guy. He is someone who is quite used to people trying to kill him and is often trying to kill people in return. It would be very difficult to catch him flat-footed.
Hmm.
Plus, if we're you know, and if
Well,
we're gonna
Yeah,
take it
well
to the
John
wheel by the
married
sound of it.
I have faith in Clayface.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right, we're gonna take it to the wheel. If it lands on John, Clayface is moving past Lex Luthor. It probably would be a massive fucking upset. And because I said that, we're gonna wheel it
Oh,
over to
I hope it
Dan.
is, John.
No, so it's gonna land on me, and so Lex Luthor will move past Clayface. Mr. Luthor. All right, we've got our first Kryptonian and our only Kryptonian of this particular round, as we have General Zod versus the Brainiac, two Superman villains against one another. How familiar are you with both?
I feel like I'm more familiar with Brainiac than with Zod.
Oh, really? I'm the other way around.
So that means Corey can explain everything.
Yes.
Perfect.
Which is great. You should get Brainiac will. I think they've already announced he is going to be the main villain of the Man of Tomorrow film by James Gunn. So we will be seeing a little bit more of Brainiac. Brainiac is, real quick, commonly depicted as a super intelligent android or cyborg from the planet Kolu, who's obsessed with collecting knowledge in the known universe. His power and ability. Most consistent power is his 12th level intelligence, allowing calculation abilities, enhanced memory, and advanced understanding of mechanical engineering, bioengineering, physics, as well as other theoretical and applied scientists. His mental abilities have shown him capable of possessing others, absorbing information from beings, transferring his consciousness, creating and manipulating computer systems, replicating duplicate bodies of himself, and exerting powers to traverse or control space time. Among organic beings, Brainiac views only his frequent partner, Lex Luthor, as a pure intellect. He has often been depicted as well as having incredibly high levels of strength, durability, and speed. The exact level varies, but usually hovers around what Superman's strength level is. There have been multiple versions of Brainiac over the years, with small variations and changes to appearance as well as power level. But General Zod, however, is full-on Kryptonian. Was a considered somewhat of a peer with Superman's father, but he was representative of the Kryptonian military guild. Zod's ability is superhuman strength, stamina, endurance, speed, agility, reflexes, intelligence, longevity, and hearing. He can absorb the solar energy of the yellow sun, which gives him the full bevy of his powers. Basically, he has all of Superman's abilities, plus being a master military mind. So he knows how to fucking fight. So Zod versus Brainiac. Both of them have experience fighting Superman. Brainiac has experience, and both of them have experience fighting, Kryptonians. So, that being said, what are your thoughts on Zod against Brainiac?
I feel like with that description, you made a pretty good case for Zod, right?
Really? I was thinking Brainiac.
You said he has all of Superman's powers, but also he's really good at fighting.
He's a cold, yeah.
Whatever.
Superman is basically like self-taught farm kid fighting. Like he punches and he knows how to fight through just years of experience that way. Zod was trained in the military and ran the military. So he is.
So you're talking about Superman, but he fights better. Like that's that's hard to beat.
A more disciplined fighter in the sense of like trained at it.
Mm-hmm. That's
Isn't Brainiac? Isn't his whole gimmick like shrinking stuff?
I mean, the Battle City of Kandor, yes.
So why not just shrink General Zod and then put him in a little bottle? And
he has done that
game over
Superman
right there.
In the past, and it didn't work out completely for him. So it's not a foolproof strategy. Now, of course, the thing is about
maybe he learned his lesson from last time.
There you go.
But he's never done it to Zod, though.
So the thing to remember is that General Zod does have the weaknesses of Kryptonians. So kryptonite is a weakness to him. Magic is a weakness to him. Cutting him off from yellow solar energy is a weakness to him. Brainiac's weaknesses more have to do with just his cold and unfeeling nature. And yeah, that kind of goes in his favor. Yes, Zod versus Brainiac. What are your thoughts?
It's a tough one. I'm still gonna go with Zod. No, you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna Brainiac.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going Brainiac.
Yep, I'm sticking with Brainiac as well.
Yep.
I'll go Zod just to give our Kryptonian, our lone Kryptonian, a fighting chance on this one. We're gonna spin our wheel. Lands on me. General Zod advances. Anybody else? It's gonna be Brainiac. Brainiac it is.
Yep.
All right, and our final first round match. It's a tough one. Both of these guys synonymous with the 1990s in big moments in DC Comics. We have Bane, the man who broke the bat, against Doomsday, the creature that killed Superman. I'm not gonna lie. This is a bad draw for Bane. Bane is Bane is a genius level strategist, incredibly strong thanks to Venom, strong without the Venom, but even more so if he's using it. The problem is Doomsday is a monster that is immortal. Every time he dies, he comes back to life and has adapted to what killed him the first time. He's incredibly strong. He's incredibly durable. He has survived and lived through so much shit. He exists because as he was brought up as this baby creature and brutally killed, resurrected, brutally killed again, over and over and over again until his body adapted. Doomsday's a killing machine. Bane's a dude in a luchador mask. That's a tough fight.
I mean, if it was pro wrestling, if it was AEW, they'd be able to gimmick it.
Yeah.
So Bane wins in like 3 minutes, you know?
What? They never do a match that's 3 minutes in AEW.
15 at the least.
If it's a tiny luchador guy against a big fucking roided out dude, yeah, they would go 3 minutes and have the luchador win.
So
100%.
So it sounds like Doomsday is advancing.
Yeah, Doomsday.
Yeah, Doomsday.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one broke Batman's back, the
against.
other killed Superman.
Yeah, you know,
You
swings
know.
and roundabouts, huh? Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's it for our first round matches. We're gonna head back to the top, and we have Mister Freeze versus Deathstroke the Terminator. Mr. Freeze got here by freezing the Joker. Deathstroke got here by sniping Sinestro out of the sky. I will not lie. I think this is the low end of the power scale in this tournament right now. Deathstroke is a skilled master
Hmm.
assassin, that is for sure. Uh, and Mr. Freeze is a genius super criminal. I think Deathstroke the Terminator, though, is the kind of guy that's going to absolutely exploit Mr. Freeze's weaknesses and use them against him, and I think pull up the victory.
I am in agreement. I think Deathstroke's a more ruthless individual who is going to be more willing to, uh,
Cross lines.
uh, ex- yeah, like exploit Mr. Freeze's weaknesses and yeah, do whatever it takes to win. So yeah, I'll go with Deathstroke.
Dylan?
I also agree with you guys. Honestly, like Deathstroke's probably gonna be the winner, right? I
Yeah.
really want to just go to the wheel. Like I don't care enough about it to go to the wheel, so let's say Deathstroke.
Okay, so Deathstroke will be advancing. Up next, we
Easy.
have our battle of cosmic beings. We have a giant starfish, Starro the Conqueror, against the intergalactic space entity of fear, Parallax. What are our thoughts?
I think the Star did a pretty good job getting this far, but I feel like Parallax is gonna be the winner here.
Yeah, I'm sort of leaning in the same direction, I think. Parallax, I mean, he's riding high right now. He's just knocked off Darkseid.
Yeah,
Uh,
only good time.
yeah, I'd say he's probably got this one in the bag.
Hmm.
I like Starro the Conqueror, but a lot of Starro's strength comes from the ability to mass produce and brainwash people and form an army, and that's not really going to do too much against a intergalactic space entity. So I do think that Starro the Conqueror is not going to advance past Parallax.
Okay, so Parallax.
Parallax will be moving on.
Sweet.
This round's going real quick. All right, we've got the Reverse Flash against Lex Luthor. Reverse Flash has access to the negative Speed Force, and Lex Luthor's Lex fucking Luthor.
Has Lex Luthor fought Flash, the regular Flash before?
Yes, in a couple of different areas. Very
Do we
famously in the Justice League cartoon.
do we knows how to fight the Flash?
I would say so. I mean, he's also the kind of person that, again, he has a Batman quality to him, and then he has contingencies. Again, he deals with Superman, who also has superhuman speed, who is on par with with most of the Flashes. He's not on par with Wally West, but he's probably on par with Eobard Thawne.
Well, I'm gonna go with Lex Luthor then.
Yeah, I can't.
Hmm.
I can't agree.
I
Conscious bump off Luthor for the Reverse Flash.
really, I'm gonna go Reverse Flash. I think he's got all the superpowers. He's a pretty smart guy as well. Uh, and yeah, I think he
See,
could pull off an upset here.
my rationale
Mm.
behind it is that Lex Luthor constantly is dealing with the person who has the most superpowers, and at the end of the day, is just a rich genius who at one point was sort of they made a
Hmm.
version of Donald Trump. So we'll go ahead and take it to the wheel. If it lands on John, Reverse Flash makes the upset against Lex Luthor. Oh, just barely.
Oh.
Landed on Dylan. So Eobard Thawne and Reverse Flash will not be advancing. Lex Luthor moves to the final four. Next up, this one's brutal. We got Brainiac versus Doomsday. Both Superman villains. Of course, Brainiac was, we've discussed, just beyond superhuman level of intellect and cold emotion. And Doomsday, the thing that basically constantly is evolving. Um, personally speaking, I could see Brainiac being able to outlast Doomsday for a period of time. Because again, there is a villain in the Doom Patrol comics who, this is a Grant Morrison invention, so Dylan, I know you're gonna love it. Their character has every superpower available. The problem is, you can remove that superpower if you name them. So if you're fighting this character, you just have to start shouting powers, and they'll start losing them.
Okay.
Brainiac is somebody who can conceivably think of millions of strategies to deal with Doomsday. The problem is Doomsday is going to keep coming back. How long the fight goes depends on how long it takes for Doomsday to get his hands on Brainiac, in my opinion. Because Brainiac could probably keep him busy for a while by putting up roadblocks and killing him off in unique ways until he comes back again.
You know, that's the thing. Right off the bat, I was thinking Doomsday is going to win just because he beats the shit out of him. But then I was thinking maybe Brainiac, because if anybody's going to find out a way to get around stuff that Doomsday can do, it would be a guy like Brainiac with that kind of like intelligence. He would be. I feel like he would be able to crack the code to Doomsday that nobody else would be able to figure out. You know what I mean? I feel like just his raw, like his intelligence would figure out a way to get that upper hand. So at first I was gonna go with Doomsday, but now I think I'm swinging towards Brainiac.
I don't know though. Like, I see what you're saying, but I think Doomsday, if he if Brainiac makes just like one mistake and Doomsday can get his hands on him, then that's probably, game over right there.
That's an if though.
It's an if, but like an inevitable if. It's gonna happen at some point.
But somebody's gonna be able to like incapacitate Doomsday and find a way to like stop him for good. It'd be Brainiac, you know? That makes sense to me.
I think there's only one way to settle this.
What does Corey think?
I think Doomsday is just unrelenting. I think that's the problem with Doomsday is, this is a character that literally got stuck in hell and fought his way out of hell.
Okay.
So I think Doomsday could.
Here's the thing.
It would be a war of attrition, but I think that it's inevitable.
Here's the thing, right? I was thinking about Doomsday to begin with, so like, if you guys wanted to go with Doomsday, I'm happy to go with Doomsday. I think it makes sense. I think Brainiac has a good shot.
I think,
is what I mean.
I think Brainiac's a good fight against Doomsday, just because again, if there's anyone who's gonna think of a way to prolong the fight, it's gonna be him. He's not gonna get as overwhelmed as quickly, I think. But again, it's inevitable.
Right. So, do you want to just say Doomsday?
I'm going Doomsday personally.
I'm happy to go with that.
Okay. So we're gonna have Doomsday advance past Brainiac. So here's our final four. A little lopsided a little bit. We've got Deathstroke the Terminator, Parallax, Lex Luthor, and Doomsday. That's two Superman villains there at the end. So our first of this, though, Deathstroke the Terminator against Parallax. We have a master assassin against a cosmic entity of fear. I think Deathstroke has had a good run so far, but I think that run is over.
I have a feeling it might be. I would go for Parallax in this one.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really shoot a cosmic entity of fear.
You could try. I don't think it'll get you too far.
I agree. I think that's Parallax's ticket to the finals. And then next up, also kind of almost, I want to say almost a wash. We got Lex Luthor versus Doomsday. I love Lex. Sheer intellect and money and prep can only go so far against Doomsday. Like, that was the point of Doomsday. When they created the character to beat Superman, they were like, Superman is constantly being put against like these super level geniuses with all this money and resources. Like, what if we go the opposite direction and we just have a brute, mindless force of nature that exists only to kill? You know, like Doomsday exists because they wanted something to kill Superman, and Lex Luthor was not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like as much as we want to boil down Lex Luthor as being this really smart, intelligent guy, he can have all the suits that he wants, all the plans or whatever. Like Doomsday's just gonna pummel him, right?
Absolutely.
To beat the shit out of him.
Okay, but hear me out.
Yeah.
What if Lex Luthor gets Doomsday in the torture rack?
Well, listen, people have got out of the torture rack before.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm going with Doomsday.
Okay.
Okay. I guess.
Yeah, like I said, that round went quick because the matchups were a little on the lopsided side. But we do have our
That's
final.
still a good final, I think.
That's a great final. We got Parallax, a cosmic entity of fear, and Doomsday, who literally evolves to kill.
Yeah, that's a good final.
Now, here's the thing. Parallax's abilities are essentially the ability to take over possess someone's mind, and by basically making them experience great fear. He was able to possess Hal Jordan by like the nervous breakdown Hal had after, Cyborg Superman nuked his home city and killed all of his friends and family. Like, it was like worst case scenario, he was at his most susceptible, and that was that. There's not really something you can possess in Doomsday. Doomsday is just as much a force of nature.
Maybe he's a blank slate, though. Maybe he's easier to possess because there's not much going on there.
Right. Maybe it's just straight into the brain, you know? I'd imagine what would happen if Parallax was able to take over Doomsday. He'd be invincible.
Pretty much.
When
you put it like that.
I don't know. See, I'm on the opposite end. I just don't think he's the ability to take over because he's manipulating that person into weakening themselves out of fear. But there's nothing, like, Doomsday doesn't fear anything. He doesn't feel anything.
But if anybody could make
his only
if anybody could make
bloodlust.
Fear something, it would be Parallax, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but again, like he's not capable of feeling anything but bloodlust. There's been one hyper intelligent version of Doomsday, and he's a character that's referred to as I think it's the Timekeeper, and it's like a version of Doomsday that is so evolved into the future that like he like came to the past to warn Superman about something.
I don't know, man.
We're gonna take it to the wheel.
I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with this one.
Okay. So
Doomsday makes sense from a logical point of view, but I think John makes a good point that like if Parallax was to get into Doomsday, that's game over, right?
It's a big if. So, take it to the wheel. I'm definitely on Team Doomsday. John is on Parallax. Dylan, are you choosing a side, or are you abstaining and we're going for a reroll if it lands on you? Or respin?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm abstaining for this one.
Okay. All right.
It's really shitty for me to abstain from the final, I guess, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Let me think about it. Oh no, he's already spun the wheel.
I already spun it, but it's okay because it looks like it's landing on John.
Well,
all right, so that settles it. Parallax will move to the final and represent our DC villains. So let's
excellent choice.
Let's head back over to our cam and we'll go from there. Okay, guys.
Okay.
So that settled it. Parallax is going to be representing our DC villains. That's kind of a big deal. He was a big villain in the 90s. However, at the time, he wasn't a cosmic space bug. He was just the name that Hal Jordan gave himself when he broke bad and became evil, and Jeff Johns rewrote him to be a cosmic space bug. Regardless, that's where we're running with. So, our final four has been set. Representing the Marvel heroes, we have Scarlet Witch. The Marvel villains, we've got Apocalypse. The DC heroes, we've got John Constantine. And the DC villains, we have Parallax. So, kind of
Mixed bag.
they're kind of there's an odd level of being parallel on that.
Yeah, I can see
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
We'll have another
Magic.
we'll have one more episode where we'll do our final four, and that one's going to be really more involved, I think. I'll have proper level of research into all four of the characters. That way, we do have we should have a decent level of discussion for those final three matches that decide our ultimate winner. But that being said, regarding this episode, what surprised you the most out of the DC villain side?
Probably me fucking over the Joker.
Very happy about that.
But to be fair, like Corey said, the Joker as a character compared to a lot of these guys has a shelf life. Like, you know, the Joker versus Doomsday, the Joker versus Parallax, the Joker versus Darkseid. At some point his Joker power would run out, so I don't think he would have won the thing anyway, really.
Well, I was going to try and make him win the thing, but
As
you ruined it.
I often do.
It worked out well for you.
That's why I'm here to ruin things.
To ruin
Other
stuff.
than that, though, I think a lot of that went pretty smooth. I think
Agreed.
that might be the smoothest one.
Well, I mean, the Darkseid loss against Parallax in the first round sort of changed the way it was going to. Well, probably most of us thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
Mm.
I thought Darkseid was just going to, cakewalk it all the way to the finals, but
Agreed.
There you go.
Agreed. So again, we will have another episode down the line where we're going to look at those three final matches where we will find out who wins between Scarlet Witch and Apocalypse, who wins between John Constantine and the Parallax, and then ultimately who wins the whole goddamn thing. Until then, our last episode, we discussed John's final movie and final count of 2025. It is 2026 now. Has been for a little bit if you're watching. But that being said, John, where are you at on your movie count for 2026?
So far in 2026, I have watched 31 movies.
Nice. What was the last one?
The last one was The Life of Chuck, which
The Life of
was
Chuck.
Mike Flanagan doing another Stephen King adaptation. Although
Okay.
this wasn't really a horror one, this was more sort of, I don't know, kind of a sweet, beautiful, kind of life-affirming story. So I really enjoyed it. Highly recommend.
Well, there you go.
What score did you give it?
4.5 out of 5.
Oh, you like that?
Mostly based on Tom Hiddleston's dancing. That guy's got moves.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. So, that being said, where can they go to read more of your thoughts on this movie?
They can head to Letterboxd and find me at Big John Bowski, all one word.
And Dylan, what have you been up to lately?
I do a radio show that happens every Monday nights, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock UK time. You can listen to it on bouncedigitalradio.co.uk. You can check that out every Monday night. Play a lot of rock music and play a lot of just whatever I like. It's a good time, good vibes. And then I've been doing a lot of animating recently. Sometimes I stream it on Twitch at Spooky LaRue, and then I upload them to YouTube. Team Crows and I think it's the same on TikTok as well. Just go watch the shows and make them really popular, please. I need money. That's it.
All right. I've got my show, Large Old Cup. You can find a link to that and some other stuff down in the description. But until next time, we will see you all later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.